Thank you. Good afternoon. I think mine is the session just before the lunch. But I think this topic is of great significance and interest to all of us at this point of time, especially when most of us are in the process of developing new features or new product line in the AI space. It's good to have some thoughts on this topic. So let's discuss why is business value proposition of AI is needed, right? There are multiple reasons for this, especially from the capital allocation point of view. If you want to prioritize your projects, definitely you need to spell out your value from your projects. Then you need to prioritize several projects within the arena that's available for you. Definitely value proposition is needed. If you want to make your leaders, especially the CFO, to understand the monetary return aspects, then you need to quantify the value. Especially when you want to sustain your project for a long time, funding is needed, then the value proposition is very much needed, finally even for governance risk control explanations. So a McKinsey global survey says that among 56% of respondents reported adopting AI in at least one business function, only 22% reported significant bottom line impact from their investment. So it also emphasized that this topic is worth discussing. So let's look at the value dimensions of AI. What are the dimensions where you can create value? First and foremost is definitely the financial value part. We will have direct impact on the revenue and the cost. Say for example, you will be able to upsell your product lines to create additional revenue. So that's a value addition from a financial point of view. Operational level, if you can improve your process efficiency or speed, say a chatbot, which help you to speed up your operations. Strategically, if you can create a feature that will be having a competitive advantage compared to your other market competitors, then that's an additional value for you. Risk mitigation, especially the compliance and security side, things like fraud detection is going to create additional value. And also the innovation zone where you can create new line of business using AI. That's an additional value. But because of paucity of time, I will be discussing mainly on the financial value of AI. What is beyond the visible things? There is an iceberg effect here, something that is visible for all of us, which is a direct value creation of AI. So, which is very clear, which is immediately realizable. It's on the executor. It's also directly connected with your financials. But there are something that is quite indirect as well. When you look at the hidden part of this, right, it is realized very much in the downstream, which we call the indirect value. For example, when you have an AI code assistant, which is developed, directly you can say definitely this is going to save a lot of time for you. You can multiply the hours saved by the hourly rate. But there are a lot of indirect benefit which is derived out of this. You can see here, right, it reduces your release cycles. Subsequently, it helps you to catch more market share and higher retention. Now, let's look at a little more detail on the process steps to calculate the value of AI, right? First is to look at the value indicators. What are the value indicators you have in terms of efficiency and effectiveness? You need to establish a calculation formula. This may vary from industry to industry and the project that you run, but you need to have a model calculation method adopted. Then you need to look at the benchmarking data. What are the pre-AI implementation stage status? Like, if it is time taken, what is the time that is taken for your project? Then you determine the percentage of improvement. Post implementation, then you will be able to calculate the improvement and saving, which is very direct. So let me build a framework here, which probably can be applied to directly calculate the value of AI. Suppose you are introducing a new feature. You should look at what are the influence area of this new feature. Right? Business KPI that influence the operating model. Which KPI you want to assess? Is it cost, is it revenue, or is it something else? Then what are the value indicators associated with these new features, like capabilities of the feature that influence your KPI? So then you have to measure the KPI, either baselining in the pre-stage of implementation and then measuring it after the implementation stage. So that is illustrated with an example here. You can look at the AI-based invoice processing, where your influence area is cost, right? And your value indicator is directly reduction in cost of invoice processing. And The KPIs that you're going to address is average time for invoice processing per hour or minute, right? And the cost per employee also comes into the picture. So, for example, currently it takes 30 minutes, and if you have an implementation, post-implementation is improved by 60%. Then you can say that there is a 60% reduction in the overall time for that invoice processing. Now here, this calculation will help you in two dimensions. One is to sell this proposition to your management. When you want to start a new feature or new product development in the AI space, you can tell that this is something that creates value, this is how, this is viable. Or secondly, once you develop this feature, when you sell your feature to a customer, you can always say that this is something that's going to benefit you in terms of monetarily. So just by applying a simple formula here, you can see a small and medium enterprise customer, assume have 10,000 invoices created per month. The volume of activity that you see here, you can say that 1.2 lakhs invoices per annum. You multiply that with the time taken in the pre-processing stage, it's 60,000 hours. Post-AI implementation is 24,000 hours. So you are directly multiplying the time saved with the cost per employee, which is hypothetically taken as $20 per hour, which is coming around 7.2 lakhs. So this will give an upfront confidence of your investment, and even if somebody is going to buy your feature. Now, so far I talked only about the direct value. There is indirect value generation in terms of effectiveness. In this topic itself, you can say that the payment cycle is reduced. There is a discount possibility that you can get in. You have higher vendor satisfaction, reduced compliance penalties. There are methods to calculate all these things, even though it is a little complex, but I won't be able to come to that now because of the paucity of time. Let me look at some key principles when we want to start this journey. First, you look at the incremental value of your AI feature, not the base solution itself, what the value it is going to add. Then you have to list all the value indicators that are relevant to this feature, whether it is qualitative, quantitative, wisdom, and all those things. Then you frame each benefit statement accurately. Then you can specify what could be the impact and change because of the AI implementation. And you can start building the draft. Slowly you can iterate and improve. I don't think we will get it first always right, but then it's a process we need to pursue. So my final thoughts is value measurement maturity correlates with AI success, right? I mean, if you have a value measurement that has been well developed, then the success of AI projects is going to be much, much higher. So the companies with sophisticated value measurement framework realize 2.3 times more value from their AI initiative compared to those with basic approaches. Second is balanced measurement approaches yield superior result. I have talked only about the financial part, but you have seen another 3-4 additional dimensions: strategic dimension, innovation dimensions, and compliance part as well. So if you can broaden that framework to a better horizon, you will be able to have a much balanced measurement criteria, and you'll be able to articulate your value much better. So that lead to higher adoption rate and probably higher business impact. And finally, value measurement must evolve with AI maturity. You may not get everything in the beginning. As you start and embark on a journey and you move up in the value chain higher up, definitely this is going to get matured and going to take reap better benefit in the future for your organizations. There are further evaluation method even for identifying within AI use cases how much you can identify. There are methods and framework available. Probably I'll reserve that discussion for another time. With that, I want to conclude my presentation. Thanks a lot.